Okay, welcome, as usual, to the lab. And, what the bugger is that, I hear you say? Well, that's today's pickup. And it's the most unusual pickup I have ever bought. And it's also the most valuable pickup I have ever bought. When it was new, this was a lot of money. A lot of money. Let's have a look at it, shall we? This thing is so big, even with the camera on its tripod at the back at the back of the lab, you still can't get it all in shot properly. It is amazingly big. It is, what is it? Well, it's an IBM 9332 hard drive. This is no ordinary hard drive, as you might have guessed. This is actually a mainframe hard drive. Yes, it's from about 1988, and it's huge. Let me show you around a little bit, because it's difficult to do it like this. Okay, there we go. IBM. What's the? Oh, there he is. Type 9332, serial number 101988510. Yes, it's from 1988. This is the front, power on and off, and in there is all the retro geekiness, which we shall be looking at shortly. Now, what is this device, I hear you say? Well, what this actually does is lock the drive for transport. The drive itself, the platters, sit on a chassis for vibrations, and this locks it in place when you're moving it. Just take that out so I don't forget. There we go. Right, okay, so that's that side. Externally, there's not much to see. It's all galvanized steel to stop corrosion. That's why it's all these weird colours. Although that's a bit of contamination there. Around the back, if I can get to see, we have two huge fans. There they are, which connect to the main PSU, which is there, and some interfaces. There is a cable coming, hopefully, for those interfaces soon, so that these can be daisy wheeled should I decide to get another one. Just to show you scale, that is a modern hard drive. It's a 40 gig desktop hard drive. This, which has not been seen on my main channel yet, but is on my other channel, from my RM Nimbus server, which is being worked on, is a 1987 Winchester hard drive. That'll be back in a moment. This, as you all know, is a Sony PlayStation. So now you're getting a sense of the scale of this thing. Massive. And it says 18 kilograms on the front here. I don't believe it. I had a pair of turntables and they were 55 kilograms. And I'd say this is about 2/3 of the weight on them. So it's probably knocking on for about 30 kilograms in total. So I don't know if that refers to some sort of balancing or something, but it's definitely a lot heavier than 18 kilograms. Now, how much storage does this have? Well, there was one little clue that'll give it away. And I've just noticed that for the first time. 400. Is that 400 terabytes, I hear you say? Don't talk stupid, this is 1988. That is 400 megabytes on what I believe is, oh, it is. I think they're about 6 inch, because they're about there. So 6 to 8 inch platters. Massive. No, that's not much, I hear you say. That's pretty pathetic. No. Yeah, that's pretty pathetic, I hear you say. But let's put this into context. 1988, what were we getting? Well, that's a year older, and that's from a network server, and that was 20 megabytes in that huge thing. That's from 1987, so you haven't got this tested date there. So 20 megabytes in a network server, serving what, about 200 computers perhaps. 400 megabytes in this thing, so this is 20 times the size of this in storage capacity. In volume, yeah. So yes, so that's the context. In PCs in 88, you're probably getting 20, 30 megabytes, 40 megabytes at the most. 400. So in its day, this was a massive piece of kit. How much was it worth? Well, I've looked on the IBM website, and this retailed for £15,000. Yes, £15,000, and when you see the engineering in this, you can see why. So, I didn't pay that for it. I didn't pay anywhere near that for it. In fact, I paid a very reasonable price, which I'm not going to tell you. But why do I have it? Well, we intend to build a mainframe. Oh, he's gone mad, he'll say. He's gone bonkers. Yes, I've gone bonkers. We are actually going to build a mainframe in the house. It's going to go under the stairs. We've already got it measured out. There's excuse me. What we're going to build is an IBM AS-400. I think it's a model B30. It's one with a 6-foot cage. But we're going to be getting the components slowly. You have to excuse my cough. Slowly. It may take a few years. It may take quite a few years. But we're going to build it. He's bonkers. Yes, it's an intellectual and retro technological project. And we'll be one of the few people who has a mainframe in their house that they use. The serial terminal we've got can actually work with it, but we need to get processor, comms unit, which is already got, frame, which we've already got, well, we've got reserved when they turn up. We've got those two. We need a processor and the tape drive that the thing booted off. That's what I'm led to believe, it booted off a tape drive. So, over the next few years we hope to get all them, and with this, get myself a working mainframe. Can't afford a modern mainframe, obviously, so we're going to go retro. Now, 6-inch platters, 400 megabytes. You want to hear what that sounds like, don't you? Oh, yes, you do. Believe me, you do. So, let's plug them in. Right, 3 stages to the start up of this. First of all, the light will come. We'll take you around the front here. First of all, the power light will come on. It will run checks on its board. You'll then hear the 2 rear fans start, and it will wait until they're at full speed before it starts the main drive. So, are you ready for the utter awesomeness that is this? Just get that drive light stop there, and this will flash all the way until it's actually done. So ready? Here goes. Witness the awesomeness. Just checking the electronics. The 2 rear fans are starting. It's quite noisy already. And after a few moments, you will hear. There she goes. The platters are starting up. And spinning up. Checking the heads. And the machine is now ready for use. and quite noisy. Very noisy, in fact. Wonderful. In fact, I have this running downstairs, just switched on, just so I can hear it, because it sounds so wonderful. And the other good thing about this, as well as switching it on, is the noise it makes when you switch it off. Are you ready? I need a cigarette now, and I don't even smoke. Oh dear, I seem to have got geek juice everywhere. Ooh. I'm all relaxed now. What to do now? Anyway, as they say at the EV blog, don't switch it on, although we already have. Take it apart! Yes, next stage is to, let's have a look inside this thing. Now the problem is, excuse me, when we take it apart, it's on a shelf, so it takes up double the space. And the fans have to come out the back because it won't work unless the fans are plugged in. So I have to take the fans out the back and re-plug them in. So it takes up a hell of a lot of space. So we can't do it in the lab, we're going to have to take it downstairs, which means I'm going to have to do my back in again. But it does live downstairs, so it's going to end up there anyway. So, hope you enjoyed that little switch on. We're going to be switching it on again in a second. So, join me downstairs! Let's clean these geek juices up from everywhere as well. Yeah. Okay, and after a short delay, while we waited for some scummy neighbours down the street to shut their music up, because it was incredibly loud, we're ready to take it apart. Now, I did use the time period while I was waiting for them to shut up to unscrew it. So all the screws are now removed, the fans are removed, and just have a quick drink. Oops, I spilled some. Oh well. Anyway, these are the fans. Huge things. There's my hand. There's the fans. Massive. Well, they will need to be plugged in before it will boot outside of its case. So it thinks it's inside its case. Right. So anyway, once all the screws are removed, what we do, pull that straight. We pull this front panel off. You're feeling all the geekiness. Oh, excuse me, that's disgusting. And then we start to pull her out. There we go. Now, there are some connectors on this side which I need to remove before it will come fully. These are just connectors for the rear comms, so we can take them out. And yeah, this whole lot just slides out, revealing the awesomeness. Now, if I remove this and pull that forward, we can now get the power cable into there and reconnect the fans, which will only fit in one direction. So, here we go. That direction. Right. So now the fans are reconnected. You can now see. That's my phone. The awesomeness. Oh, look at that. Oh. Mad science. Mad science. Related to this. Over there. Far away, Teletubbies, come out to play. Meet Mr. Zoidberg, who will be appearing on my other channel. Anyway, yes, there we go. That's the main drive exposed. Shall we go in for a closer look? Of course we shall. Right, starting at the front. Here are the data and power interfaces for the drive. This huge thick cable. Look at my thumb compared to that. Yes, it's a huge thick cable. It goes into 2 ports there. That port is used in this configuration anyway. So I don't know what went there. At the front we've got some, looks like transistors there for changing the power levels, with their huge heat sinks there. And on the side we've got some, I don't know if they're clocks, chips or what. This is 80s componentry and it's slightly different. Some control chips. There's a board on the side here. I have no idea what that does. So there you go. Just going to work our way around the drive before we go into the drive. There's 3 boards on this side. Now, this is the one problem we've got. As you can see, there's some corrosion down here. Does that rub off? I don't know, probably come off with a bit of scrubbing. But there is some sponge at the bottom there, and as I put my finger in it, it's so old it just went completely yuck. So what I want to know, if somebody does know, what the sponge is doing there, can it be removed without detriment to the drive? And perhaps put something else in its place, because it is disgusting. And now the bit you're waiting for, the drive itself. There it is. That's where the platters live. I'm not taking this open because this, as far as we're aware, is a working system. So I don't want to disturb it. But you'll see other videos where there are drives of similar size open. That's the holders that hold it shut. It sits on a, probably can't see it there, might be able to see it there. Sits on a suspension, protect it from vibrations. There's the lock you saw earlier. That comes through, just pushes into this, and as that goes, it pushes the whole thing rearwards and locks it in position. I'll take that off for now. A bit awkward to do when you've got the cables here in the way. Right, on the front of the drive are these 2 motors, which it just looks like a V6 engine sitting on its side, doesn't it? Weird. These are wonderful. I love them. The engineering on these is massive. It's not designed to go wrong. This thing's designed to go for years, and you can see why it cost so bloody much when it was new. Amazing stuff. If anybody could tell me more about these motors, I'd like to know how they work and how it relates to the drive itself. There's a small phone down here, but that seems to be in good condition, unlike that stuff down there. So if anybody could tell me more about these motors, I can't find any serial numbers on them or anything. If anybody knows, please let me know. No, I know what you want to see and hear now, don't you? You're all geeks like me. So I'm just going to bring my tripod level down and put it on. You want to see it fired up, don't you, in this position? Of course you bloody do. So we can get the fans in shot as well. There we go. So that's just what I'm going to do for you, because I'm nice. But I've left my cable upstairs, so I'm just going to go and get my power cable, and I'll be right back. Okay, ready. This is powered in. So I'll switch on, I'll do a check, so the fans run up, and then this module, hear it run up. It is earthing for some reason. I think it's because it's not in the main cage, but there is slight current running through it now and again. But let's run it and find out what it does. So power's coming on, fans should fire up in a second. There they go. Oh, that's giving me a nice breeze here. Oh, it's worth getting one of these just for the fans. Oh, that's nice. And any second. Oh, I thought it wasn't going to happen then. The main drive is now firing up. There's the chicken. And there she is. She's running. Oh, now whatever. Oh. Sorry, just sucking my tea. Oh. Dreams are made of this. Oh yes. Could this be one of the ultimate geek toys for technological retro hardware geeky people like me? Let's listen to that. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know what speed this runs at, but ow! Oh, that was a good shock. Yeah, I don't know what speed this runs at. But oh yes. Some air from the fans there. But it's fast. So that's the IBM 9332 400 megabyte mainframe hard drive from 1988. Thank you very much. Okay, here it is running again. I forgot to ask a few things. If anybody has any technical data on the IBM 9332, it would be appreciated. Or even the IBM AS400 mainframe that we're looking to build. That would be appreciated too. Also, to fetch this, I had to do a 100-mile round trip across the Pennines. And if you go over to my second channel, link below, there you'll find a video of me driving, which includes an incident with an Audi and some nearly dead chaps. So, go over, check that out, and if you've got any documentation, please let me know. Thank you very much.